Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Vinny Eastwood Show, broadcasting live from the fabulously fluoridated capital of Auckland, New Zealand, the island-chained nation in the sunny safe South Pacific. It's fluoridated and Fukushima irradiated, and everybody has a part-time job as an incandescent light bulb to help the economy by behalf of the John Key Prime Minister, who used to work for the Federal Reserve. My very special guest, who's dropping in with us briefly while we're waiting for our other guest to come up, my somewhat fabulous producer, Mr. Mitch Santells, who has some news for you. Mitch, welcome to the program.
Hey, it's a very interesting morning here in Auckland, New Zealand, and my news is very, very simple. I've now, my new name is Kim.com Jr. New Zealand has rejected my renewed work permit, and I just wanted to let your listeners know that my hunch was correct, that anybody that was not born or raised in New Zealand, that immigration is extremely schizophrenic. And I am one of probably hundreds, if not thousands of people who are having their permits rejected. So I just thought everybody would find that really, really interesting.
Well, what's the process here? I mean, why are they rejecting yours?
They rejected my work permit basically because I changed jobs during my last work permit, and because the owner of the company left the country, and because I wasn't a good boy and didn't go to immigration and tell them, they said, okay, you're fraudulent because you didn't pay more money to immigration and you didn't tell us. But there's something, Vinny, that's really interesting about this, and I think your listeners will find this interesting. In the letter that came back from my own immigration attorney, I wanted to read you, if I may, Vinny, just a couple sentences from the letter. It talked to me, it says, normally you should have been issued an interim visa automatically when you applied for a new work visa. However, immigration's automated system did not do this as it was supposed to do. If it had, you could have filed an appeal against deportation, which would have ensured your safety in New Zealand for at least the next 12 months, although you would not have had a lawful visa during that time. So basically, not only is New Zealand's immigration, I believe, a fraudulent agency, they're totally incompetent. And if we have time one time, Vinny, I've actually downloaded the audio of John Key talking about how incompetent New Zealand immigration is and how they messed up on Kim.com, how the FBI was listening in when they raided him, how it was all fraudulent, how the whole thing's fraudulent. So basically, when they rejected me, they were supposed to automatically give me an appeal, but they weren't willing to do it. So now my attorney wants to charge me more money to go in and do something that New Zealand law has already promised and is on the books.
Well, that's lawyers for you, isn't it? And that's the law for you.
Well, it's sort of, they violated the Local Government Act when they brought in the super city. They violated Kim.com's rights, his sovereign rights as a resident of New Zealand. And here I am going into my third work permit, having been here in 5 years, having spent thousands of dollars with immigration and an attorney who I believe is very competent. And I get rejected. So my wife and my 2 girls are legal to stay, and basically I now have to either come up with money to apply for an appeal, or I could be deported at any time. So I'm just letting your listeners know this is a global thing that's going on.
You say deported at any time, like there's no leeway, they want you to leave now kind of thing, and you're illegal as of this moment?
I'm illegal as of the 27th of last month, and they said, yeah, I either have to arrange to leave New Zealand before I'm apprehended by New Zealand immigration and deported, or I can request for a visa under S61 of the Immigration Act. But according to my own attorney, they're incompetent, and they did not automatically reapply my appeal. So imagine if I was a multimillionaire, which I'm not. I don't have the money to pay all these fees. New Zealand immigration this year alone cost me almost $7,000 for me and my wife and my two daughters. And as of the 27th of September, I'm now illegally in this country. So I have to keep my passport on me at all times, and I can be deported at any time. So I just really wanted your listeners to know this, because in America right now, what's happening is, and Frosty Woolrich, who's been on your show before, we have over 1,655 illegal aliens crossing the Mexican border into California. And according to Mike Harris, who is in Arizona, he claims that over 7,000 illegal aliens are crossing the border between Mexico and Arizona. So can you believe this, Vinny? Even me.
I find it happens to the best of us, and it's because the worst of us see it coming and bribe the people who would do it to us beforehand.
I understand. I understand. By the way, I wanted to congratulate you on your announcement yesterday on how well your show and your website is doing. You really deserve all your success, Vinny. You've worked really hard to take it to this point, you know?
Well, I appreciate that, and of course, I mentioned on the show yesterday too that it's because of you, Mitch, and American Freedom Radio, and all the listeners, all the sponsors that we've had, and that all the support eclectically that I've been getting. You know, people taking me out for coffee when I can't afford it. You know, just as little a thing as that is basically made getting through the days so much easier. And regardless of how much work I have put in, I wouldn't have been able to even do that work had it not been for all the huge support that I've been getting. And I'm kind of living a dream that's a nightmare, if you know what I mean. And everybody else is in this nightmare with me, but I'm the one who gets to experience the dream part of it.
It's a really interesting dream, because to have us, to be 27, have a syndicated radio show, you know what I'm saying? And being able to interview some of the top truthers in the world, while at the same time, the New World Order, the global police state, the way the U.S. military has been brought into New Zealand, we're living in really challenging times. And I got to tell you, Vinny, when I was your age, when I was 27, when I was falling in love with my wife and courting her, and we were living in Southern California in Redondo Beach, I had no idea, I'm now 55, that our world would be like it is right now. And my attitude is this right now: if we all don't stand for something, we will fall for anything. And there are some very brave people, including Steve Quayle and Stan Deo and David Icke, and all these people who've come on your Cliff High, all these people that have been coming on your show, and even George Norrie, man, who came on your show and said they're trying to kill us. The fact that all these people are willing to stand up, a lot of people in the States are saying that the constitutional republic, once known as the United States of America, is really over. And the videos that people send me, I continue to put news stories at guerrillamedia.co.nz, and I really love you, Vinny. I also want you to know I also love your girlfriend. No, not in that way, but I really love the way she stood by you all these years, because this has not been an easy road for you, has it?
It's, well, you know what, Mitch? A friend of mine told me something yesterday. He said, I have taken the word hard, and I've taken it out of my association with work. And suddenly, the work becomes a lot easier. And the more you think that it's hard, the harder it keeps getting. So, despite the fact that it would, from the outside, and of course from my personal experience, appear that we've been through much hardship, trials and tribulations, fighting, arguments, but those are very, very minor by comparison to the large majority of the time where we're enjoying each other's company and cooking meals for each other and just basically being a couple in a very nice state of being. And this is different to a lot of truthers' relationships, mostly because I don't I don't see how you can go and be working every day like a dog and come home to somebody who's sitting at a computer screen with their back to you most of the time. You know, it becomes really hard to keep a relationship going like that. And so you have to kind of reserve FaceTime, if you will. And that's what we did this weekend. I was offered to go down to a middle of the night drumming. I was offered to do go out to a sound recording studio. I was offered to go out and see a movie and all of these other things from mates of mine. And I said to them, no, no, and no. I'd really love to, would be keen, but I'm giving this weekend to myself and the missus.
I understand. And I must tell you, Vinny, and you know this to be true, we have met many people in the alternative media and have met many people who are truthers who have lost their families, you know, and it's kind of bizarre. I'm illegal in New Zealand, but my wife and my children are legal. So, you know, so I just want to let your audience...
You know what they're saying? In principle, it's illegal to have a complete family in New Zealand.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Don't get me started on that one, man. Don't get me started on that one.
It's part and parcel of all of our recent family policy and all the things that are coming out in this country right now. It seems inherently anti-family, anti-freedom, anti-justice, and you're a man with a family who's speaking for freedom and justice, so naturally they have to kick you out.
I understand. And I must tell you, it's the people who have the least who seem to get picked on the most. You know what I'm saying? So if I was one of those wankers where I mean, look at Kim.com, man. The guy was sitting on $100 million, right? The guy invests something like $60 million or $65 million in New Zealand government bonds. You know what I'm saying? And they rate him, and it's illegal. And I promise your audience, Vinny, we are going to go back, and I have the audios now. You're going to hear David Shearer, the Labor Party. You'll probably hear John Key in the next few days on the Vinny Eastwood Show. And we're going to play the audio, and it's amazing the crap that these guys get away with. It is unbelievable. And I just can't believe some of the stories that are coming out. I was on Tumeke today, and it turns out that when they were raiding Kim.com, they had all these spies from Canada and from England and from the United States. And it's like, there's another guy we got to get on your show, Vinny, who was a whistleblower with the NSA. And he lost everything and lost millions of dollars of income and retirement. And when the NSA turned its own ears, monitoring everyone's phone call, everyone's email, every conversation, it's all monitored. He was freaking out. He understood doing it to foreign countries because he was defending and protecting the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. But when they turned all of that on U.S. citizens, and they said, "Oh yeah, it's a done deal," you don't say anything. He became a whistleblower. So there are some really brave people that are out there, and I really honor and acknowledge all of them. I really honor and acknowledge you, Vinny. You're one of the bravest people I've met in New Zealand.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like I'm the most well-shaved person in an Amish village kind of thing. It's not that difficult to stick out.
No, I understand. Well, and the fact that at such a young age you were so articulate about so many issues, you know. And
well, it's because I keep talking. It's because I keep talking to old wise fellas like yourself, Mitch, and absorb what experience they have, instead of going, you're an old fuddy-duddy and I'm just going to go hang out with some young people my own age and just get drunk with them and talk about women and such.
No, I understand. I got to tell you the strangest thing. I actually had a friend of my son's tell me the other day. He said, "Mitch, you were 20 and now you're 55. And he said, technology in our world is changing so fast that a 20-year-old in 2012, unless they change careers or they're really aggressive with technology, their career will be over by the time they're 35. So,
Oh, well,
But I think in what you're doing, your career is never going to be over, man. This is just the start of it.
they'd have to shoot me. And even then, I'll probably survive it because I'm very large and very hardy. And many things should have broken me and destroyed me so far, but they have not succeeded because I don't want to give in, basically. And my will is stronger than any bullet. Apart from if it cleaves the head right off with a 50 caliber round of some. I mean, I'm not going to be silly about it, but yeah, I ain't afraid anymore because I understand what's really on the line here at the end of the day. And when people get unfairly treated, when mismanagement of processes, which is the fault of the processes and not the person being processed, I think some accountability really needs to actually be implemented in here, because for frack's sake, if we can do this to good people, imagine what they'll do to anybody else who's innocent. We'll be right back after the break at the VinnyEastwoodShow.com.
If you take an active interest in maintaining the optimum health and well-being of yourself and your family, the New Zealand Journal of Natural Medicine is the magazine you've been waiting for. Having taken Australia and New Zealand by storm, the New Zealand Journal of Natural Medicine is now available in the UK and Europe. Visit www.nznaturalmed.co.uk or call 01626 337 531 to order your copy now.
Do you realise every day we are being put under constant stress from wireless radiation? What's worse is that you don't even know that it's happening. It puts as much stress on our body as if we had a constant viral infection, draining our energy and sapping our strength, or just making us irritable and fatigued. These wireless fields are being emitted from computers, microwaves, mobile phones, power lines, and any electrical appliance. Now there is a solution. A group of research engineers in New Zealand have come up with an active shielding device that shields you from wireless radiation at a cellular level. Blue Shield comes in 3 models: a household, portable, and USB that plugs into any computer. The great thing about Blue Shield is it is very affordable and guaranteed to last. A one-off purchase will see you being protected for years to come. Visit AmericanFreedomRadio.com and click on the Blue Shield banner. Blue Shield, brought to you by the VinnyEastwoodShow.com.
No matter where you live, globalism affects you. Did you know that the Vinny Eastwood Show has more subscribers than New Zealand Herald TV and is New Zealand's most popular YouTube news channel, where warm-hearted humour and a list of awesome guests talk about crucial issues which the mainstream media ignore? A show where you, the listener, can phone up with questions, comments and suggestions of guests. Vinny is building a hub to connect truthers with raw information they need to become active. He can help you gain further skills such as website building, producing audio and video, and creating revenue streams in your own multimedia environment. Because Vinny supports such a wide range of people in the truth movement, he is not government or corporate backed and relies entirely on your donations. Give now, give generously, or subscribe for $10 a month for access to ad-free video archives. Just visit the VinnyEastwoodShow.com and click donate.
Welcome back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Vinny Eastwood Show, broadcasting live right here on AmericanFreedomRadio.com 5 days a week. I like this immigration problem we've got here. Because on the one hand, you have this precise same story being repeated over and over again, even in mainstream media, of good people who are contributing to the economy, doing such and such, through no fault of their own, getting messed around by immigration, and basically having their money stolen off them. You know, immigration's real expensive and real cryptic and real mafioso like that. They give you, they come in, it's only $2,000, you know, and then the next time you go back, it's now $4,000. You go, whoa, okay, well, I've already paid the $2,000, I guess I'll pay the $4,000, and they come back and it's like, now it's $8,000. You're like, if they've told me it was 20 G's up front, I probably wouldn't have set foot in this freaking stinking country. And that's how immigration works for you. Unless you happen to be coming from a number of the Pacific Islands and Australia, where New Zealand has very close bonds and ties with, you can come in, no job, or connections, or anything of that nature, qualifications, nothing. And you can come right in, and it's no problem. You'll never have a problem with immigration about anything, ever. I'm not sure what the situation is there entirely, but that's as far as the parameters are concerned. Whereas there was another story in the mainstream media about a South African guy who started up a garage and is employing like 6 New Zealanders up north, somewhere in Northland, New Zealand. And of course, immigration, seeing this person who's contributing to the economy, providing high quality service, training New Zealand citizens, giving them independence and an income, and providing a much needed service for that area that had previously only had one other choice. Naturally, they say, let's get this guy the heck out of here. He's bad. And he's like, what? And that's how it works. I don't understand exactly why. I have a guess that they target these people because they provide good examples of immigrants. You want to have everybody angry at the immigrants. You want to have people worried about boat people. You want to have people giving endless justifications so that you can build prison camps to house all these mythical boat people, of which New Zealand has never had one, apart from the British Empire, who came invading in large boats, and the immigrants from other islands and such who arrived in canoe boats a couple of 100 years ago. Since then, apparently, nobody's been able to make the journey. Or you know, why? Because Australia's closer. All right, there's no reason for people to really want to come to New Zealand. It's an extra whole ocean to travel across in order to get there, when you can just shimmy up there. What are you going to do? Try and immigrate to New Zealand from Easter Island or South America? You have to go halfway around the world. It's insane. It doesn't work like that. We are isolated. Okay? Well, remote, should I say, but not isolated. You know, we've got planes coming in here. We've got ships coming in here all the time. As far as I know, those ships don't have an overabundance of boat people in them. So what is everybody worried about? Here's the idea. They're using these type of tactics, I believe, to condition and train both the population and the authorities to obey BS crap without question. And this allows extremely dangerous liars to seize control and maintain it. That's all that it is. Kicking somebody out from immigration. Oh, he's a really good person, you know. We really want that person as a citizen. No, kick him out. Wait, hold on a second. This is a break from standard operating procedure, isn't it? SOP, standard operating procedure, familiar with the term? You do realise that those kind of procedures are put there to prevent these kind of stupid things from happening. And when you have a break in standard operating procedure, it's a red flag that there might be something else afoot. If a guard's supposed to rotate at 4 a.m. and he rotates at 3:30 instead, and then suddenly a big terrorist attack happens or something like that, it's a conspiracy. He was ordered off, you know. So I wonder, as I do, being a proud conspiracy theorist who believes that there are powerful people who have a lot of influence who use their power to maintain their influence, that there might be some hidden agenda at foot to kick talented and useful people out of New Zealand, and to force migrate intelligent people out of here by keeping the prospects for them down. Yeah, I mean, at least that's what I see happening. I don't know whether or not there's a direct intention behind it, but if you do see it happening, and you start researching into it, and you start seeing the same names, same organisations, same similar policies that's been screwing over people in other countries the whole freaking time, it loses its illusion, and it loses the theory tag. It's no longer a conspiracy theory, it's just a conspiracy. Okay? And conspiracies happen all the time. All the time. History is nothing but conspiracy. Do you think anybody's ever been able to throw away a government by being open and transparent about it? No. You have to do it by conspiracy. Okay? 2 or more people coming together to cause harm on another group of people without that group of people knowing about it. It's pretty straightforward. Anybody who has ever had a brother or sister would understand this dynamic. Hey, it's like somebody behind your back is kneeling down, and then somebody at your front pushes you over, and instead of, or just pushes you gently, and you didn't realise that there was a person behind you, so you fall over. Oh my God, there's nothing supporting me there. That's what a conspiracy is at the end of the day. 2 people messing you around, and you didn't know it was about to happen. Okay, you may find out later, and they may try and cover it up and say, no, it was just an accident, he just happened to be kneeling down there behind you tying his shoe at the exact moment that I pushed him, and he was and both of us were completely unaware of each other, even though I was facing him and it was in full view. And the likelihood of this thing happening is 1 in 700 billion, considering he decided to bend down behind somebody next to their ass and tie his shoe. So you get all that ass particle in the face. It was a matter of preference. There's no conspiracy going on here, mate. You're crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. What are you going on about? See, this is how these people work. They twist and turn and subvert and change their stories and frack people around to no end. That's the same mentality that I see all the time, everywhere, in everybody's country. Everybody's getting messed around. For no good reason, seemingly, no good reason to any sane, reasonable, moral, or ethical person, at least. If I was instead some description of power-loving, authoritarian, misconstrued, brain-spasming, reptilian brain response, low motor cortex, drooling, aspartame guzzling, fluoride slurping till you're blue in the facing, McDonald's munching, absolute retarded, psychopathic, TSA agentish, New World Order slave scum, stymie, pig, swallow, you get the idea. If I was one of those people, maybe I wouldn't give a second thought about what things like that are happening to my producer right now. Maybe. And that's acting under the assumption I went home to a family full of slovenly pieces of trash as well. And this doesn't mean to demean those people who have these different jobs, and there are shockingly large amounts of good people in there, and I can guarantee you when they go home to their families, maybe they're good people too. But it doesn't change the fact that the New World Order has structured society and structured our education systems and every single other form of legislation and what have you in order to produce those type of morons who follow without question, who drink the poison and love it. They're being brainwashed into it ever since the times of Bernays. You have a look at any advertisement before the 1900s and what have you. It was all about statistically what the freaking problem is with this puppy. Okay? Is there any weaknesses in its design? Or is it functional? That was what advertising was basically about things that you would purchase because of their high quality and the necessity for having them. That's why everything didn't look very fancy, okay? Everything looked like crap because it was determined to be functional rather than functional. You know what I mean? Bernays changed all that. He changed it into desire, okay? Not necessity, desire. So that you will have a good feeling about purchasing this product. Oh, that seat in that car is so comfy. Oh, it's so nice. This makes me feel better. This will make my neighbours respect me. Sorry, mate. It's a big lie. And most people fell into it. And some people fell so deep into it They can't get themselves out. They're not even capable of thinking about what a necessity is for them anymore. They don't drink water. They drink fizzy drinks. They don't know what a necessity is. They don't eat vegetables in the main, and then they wind up getting prostate cancer at 28 and wonder why. Okay? This whole system has been designed to kill you in every way. Every single way you could ever live your life is down some kind of path to scumbaggery and cancer. That's what I find. It's like you ever know those big signs like on the headlands of countries and things like that, and they've got like 1 million different signs pointing to different directions, like New York 6,000 kilometers that way, Tokyo 2,000 kilometers that way, Adelaide and Rio de Janeiro, blah 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 blah. Well, here's one I'm thinking of. Cancer is one direction. Dementia is another. Organ failure is another. Stupidity is another. Lobotomy is another. Depression is another. And these are the directions that we're all supposed to go. You know, inexorably, we'll all be there if we don't take action. Some people have seen this kind of agenda coming and have decided to try and stop it. Okay, because if you see an agenda coming and you sit back and think it'll all be resolved, the agenda will come and go past you. Right? This stuff is coming. And it's coming into fruition now. You see it everywhere. Every single day. Of every single country in every single way. We are being dominated. Beyond belief. From all directions. And the easiest way to break free is to hold fast, to say no. We've been saying yes this whole time, just like in sales tactics. Okay, do you like to save money? Yes. You like to benefit your family? Yes. You like to appear reasonable? Yes. You like to have efficient service? Yes. Etc., etc. You just keep getting them to say yes. And then, when the time comes, when they sell you the product, so, do you want this product or not? Yes, because you've been used to saying it for so long. We've got to start saying, no, I do not want an efficient economy, okay? Everybody uses that word efficient. I don't know what it means. I know how the elite use it, and they use it to mean efficiently enslave your ass. That's what it means. No! No, thank you. You can bugger off. You freaking scumbag! You're a liar! And a filthy, disgusting Federal Reserve employee, a Bohemian Grove groping piece of trash. I don't care what you've got to say, because I know that you're trying to kill me and enslave me. Go away. No! Pack up your frickin' snake oil cart and get the frack out of here! Lest we pop one in your ass! Scumbag! Frickin' scumbags with their scumbaggery coming in here trying to sell me some frickin' snake oil. No! The answer is no! And if you come anywhere near anybody else that I know, we are going to whip up some description of posse, and we are going to bust your ass, shoot you, and then probably just leave you in a jail cell to bleed to death. Alright, get out of here! We'll be right back after the break at thevinnieeastwoodshow.com.